This is a picture of the Washington Monument. You should understand the layout. We have the Capitol here, the dome, we have the phallus, and then we have the water. Now the design here is that this phallus is supposed to reflect its image on the water. Phallus is another term for penis. In other words, a dick. If you look into the design of the Washington Monument, if you understand that it is of a Masonic philosophy, it's a Masonic agenda, and they reveal what the chief goal, what their main ambition is, if you can correctly decipher what you're seeing here. Now, this is what's going to open up the understanding of the rest of the address. 12 Dickinson, of course, Newtown, Connecticut. But to give you a little clue in order to how to see this, if I don't get to this right away, you need to almost begin to understand what you're looking at here. This dome represents the head. It represents the Capitol. The Capitol is the head of a column. Now you got to remember about Solomon's temple. There's two columns on the front, Jachin and Boaz. That represents Israel that has been divided. That's going to be northern Israel, and then that's going to represent southern Israel. Now, whether you can see that or not, that's what it means at the fullness of its root. It represents the two hemispheres of the brain. It represents the red, the blue, the light, the dark, the good, the evil, at least from their perspective, their philosophy. Now that would be more for my advanced students that understand the channel's perspective in its entirety. You might have caught and be able to get further down the lane of what I'm trying to tell you. But for some of you guys that are new, I basically just need you to understand that the Capitol is the head of a column. Now, when we're talking about head, we're going to be in reference to this serpent. And the serpent is going to represent Leviathan. It's going to represent Apollyon. It's representing the destroyer, who they plan to bring about. It takes destruction to bring him about. This serpent, in terms of the rising Kundalini, as we've talked about this before, I want you to see something here. And this is going to be describing the process of the serpent Kundalini rising. I'm going to start right there. Once it has risen into the head, the luminous rod hopefully pierces the top of the head. Now this luminous rod is going to hopefully pierce the top of the dome. And that's exactly what you're looking at. This is the rod that is being symbolized as piercing the head. The luminous serpent, in other words. As you can see, the rod, at least from this distance, looks black. And we know that this luminous serpent is going to rise as the dark prince, or the dark knight, the prince of darkness. Everything fits. Now, in order to get this luminous serpent, in order for them to achieve their golden age, in other words, their godhood, where they can have the serpent pierce the dome, pierce through the crown chakra, pierce through the Capitol. Well, when this happens, most people experience a little discomfort. It's almost, in a sense, an uncomfortable act. It's a destructive act once this serpent is finally rised through the top crown of the chakra. That's going to represent this destruction that we see taking place all around us currently.